with something a little bit different. It's actually Pancake Tuesday. There was a massive storm on Valentine's Day, so I was meant to record this video then, but I never got around to it. So firstly, excuse if you can hear the background music. I've got Monopoly ready to play. But yeah, so today we were doing Valentine's themed pole work, and it was I saw it on Facebook. It was called like Sealed with a Kiss or something. It's just 3 little X's, and obviously some of the poles are raised and everything. But Marino actually did really well. My boyfriend came down to video for me, which is very rare. He doesn't usually come down. I went him to walk into the room and shout at me for saying that. But yeah, he came down to video, and actually he's quite good with all these experimental angles and things, so hopefully there's some nice videos. And Marino also did his very first flying change today, but I didn't get a video of it. I did get videos of him doing it, of him not doing it, and then where he just changed his front legs and not his back. But he did do a really nice one, and that's whenever I decided to call it quits and just kind of leave him at that, because I was so happy with him. But yeah, so that's today's video, just some Valentine's pole work on not Valentine's Day, so I hope you enjoy. So first things first, we just had to get our wee pole set up. It was way more difficult than it looked. You can just see me trying to balance this pole here, and we didn't have enough of the little raised pole holder things, so I was just trying to balance it, and I was doing a pretty bad job. Yeah, it was way more harder than it looked, and I also didn't do my distances very well, as you'll see later. Now we just have a little close-up. It actually looks quite good here before Marino kicked them. You can just see a little close-up of the pole. It's just 3 little X's, and then there's me in the background just warming up Marino, just taking him for a wee walk. So I'm just still warming him up, just giving him a little trot on a longer rein, and he does a little cough. For anyone that doesn't know, Marino is just coming back from a bit of an injury. So for the warm up, I definitely like to get up off his back, and I don't really ask him, to work on the bit at the very start of the session. I just don't want to ask too much of him too soon, and we are waiting on the physio to come out and everything. So it's just a little bit of chill trot work to get him working properly. Usually I would lunge him before our rides, but today I didn't because he felt quite calm, so I thought I would just risk it. So we're just trotting, doing lots of circles and everything. There's not many videos of that, but we're doing a lot of circles, a lot of shortening the trot and lengthening the trot, and you can tell he is quite stubborn with his mouth. This is quite a cool little video, so I would include that. Some very interesting angles from my boyfriend. But yeah, I love transitions. Just try and get him working through his back instead of just forcing his head in. But you'll see at the end of the session how much this changes. He's so soft and supple in your hand. I also had a very itchy nose, if you're wondering why I keep just letting go of my reins. I had such an itchy nose. And stuff like this is really important for Marino because he is so fidgety with his mouth and his head. So all this pole work and all the transitions and the bending is really beneficial for him, just because he knows now he has to use himself and go through his back instead of just, creating this fake outline. We're also trying a little bit of rein back here, just to make sure he's fully listening to me and fully aware of what I'm asking him to do, because I want to make sure he's nice and responsive as well. But he's actually going really well in this wee warm up here. just we're still warming up here. Obviously Mario does get a longer warm up, being a bit of an older horse. So I think it's quite important that his first canter on each rein, um, I'll stand up in my stirrups and just kind of try and encourage him to drop his head a little bit. Not necessarily go on the bit, but just try and do a bit of long and low with him, because firstly he absolutely hates it, even though it would be really good for him. But I do just try and get off his back a bit, just so he can really stretch out all his muscles. Um, I will push him on a little bit in the canter just to get him to really open up. Especially because we're doing some poles. I felt like he really needed to be awake, and he didn't feel very awake. So I pushed him on a little bit down that long side, and then obviously collected him again and brought him back to trot. You'll notice there's a lot of transitions in our warm up. I feel like, just especially if you're doing poles, and with a horse like Merino who's very prone to not listening, it's just really beneficial. And whenever they are listening, like clearly he wasn't there. Whenever they are listening, everything goes so much better. But there's also a lot of hurry moments in this video, mainly because I set the strides up really poorly. And Merino, he doesn't like how narrow the middle of the poles were. And he hasn't done raised poles in a very long time. So I think he actually did struggle quite a bit with this. And you can see here he's getting quite funny with his mouth. But he hasn't done much pole work. He hasn't done any pole work since coming back from his accident. It is so irritating how weird he is with his mouth. He's always been like that from a baby. He just hates. I don't know. Well, I don't know if he hates. I wouldn't say hates, actually. That was a bit of a strong word. He's just very fussy, and if he believes that he should be left to his own devices, he'll just shake his head and tell you, I don't need you on my back. I'm perfectly capable of doing this by myself. But you can tell he is starting to soften down a little bit, and he is starting to work a bit better. And by the end of the session, he does go beautifully, but he did work really hard. You should have seen the sweat dripping off him at the end of it. So obviously not everything goes to plan. Here's a perfect example of that. The strides weren't really set out for Merino, and I just didn't ride him through it well enough, so he did really struggle with that one, but it was completely my fault. You can tell through some of the clips that he is actually starting to soften down a little bit and really use himself through his bum, which is what obviously we need. He does still struggle a bit, but he does try really hard, and that's the main thing. Also, you'll see in these clips here, you'll see just how badly I set up the striding, and how wonky the X's were. I tried to make him go in the middle of all three of them, but the middle, like, there was no perfect center point. It was quite difficult, and then we ended up just crashing through them, really. But bless him, he really did try his very best. And there are some clips where you can't see in the video, but there's other horses walking across the yard, and he has a really bad attention span. So, oh, here we go. Here's this was one of them. He saw another horse and then lost his concentration completely. and then picked up canter on the wrong leg, so I just brought him back to trot, tried to get his concentration and his focus back on me, because that's one of our big issues. And it did take a while. I had to, trot him for a little bit. You can see him throwing the head about there. He got quite excited. But we do get there. Better transition that time. We're on the right leg this time. One of his canter reins is a lot better than the other. You can decide what one you think's better, but it is very obvious. I also don't think this exercise is meant to be done in canter, but I thought I'd give it a try anyway. Because he was working so well and he was actually listening to me very well, I thought I would ask for some flying changes, which we've never done before. So you can tell in that first one, he changed with his front legs and didn't change with his back, which obviously for his first time trying it, I was thrilled with. So I do ask a few more times. I'm not sure when I ask, but I do ask a few more times, and he doesn't get it on video. But as soon as my boyfriend stopped recording, he did the most perfect flying change. There's another one he didn't quite get, but he did the most perfect flying change off camera, and I was so proud of him. That's whenever I decided to kind of end the session and just cool him off, because I just couldn't have been any prouder of him. I've never asked him for a flying change before. I'm not sure if he knew how to do them before this. So I was just thrilled to bits with him. I just thought he was absolutely brilliant. Hi guys, so as you can probably tell, I am home now. So I'm not sure if you remember, but at the start of the video, I said I was actually recording that pole work exercise on Pancake Tuesday. So I won't lie, I actually completely forgot it was Pancake Tuesday until I was recording that intro. So I didn't have any pancakes, and obviously I had to make up for my lack of pancakes. So whenever I woke up this morning, my boyfriend very kindly offered to make pancakes. So I did take some videos of it. However, just a disclaimer, the pancakes were a bit of a disaster because they didn't cook through the whole way. So we had like one, and the one that we had was lovely, but the rest were a bit raw. So maybe don't take this as a guide on how to cook pancakes. Maybe take it as a guide on how not to cook pancakes. But I just thought I would include it anyway, so I hope you enjoy it.
Anything? You go for a flip.
There you go. Hi guys, so I never actually got around to recording this outro. I completely forgot about it. But that was our Valentine's pole work. I actually thought it was really beneficial. It's a few days later now, so I've ridden Merino since then, and it seems to really like helped him engage a wee bit more and really use himself through his back. And it's also helped him just be a little bit more supple overall. So I honestly really would recommend this. I just found it on Facebook. There's loads of different exercises, and I will definitely be trying them all whenever I can be bothered to set them all up. But that is this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. It would be really, really nice if you could like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next week for another video. Bye!